Solutions.
S60. Isn't 60 to 0 as important as 0 to 60? You decide at your Volvo retailer.
Dig it till the sun goes down.
He served in the military, then put himself through college working as a steelworker, Ted Kalingoski.
The guy's one of us.
As a legislator and attorney general, he cracked down on nursing home abuse and scams against seniors.
No one's tougher in the clutch.
Steelworker, state senator, attorney general, Supreme Court justice.
Don't forget, I'm also a pretty good bowler.
Ted Kalingoski for governor. The experience to get things done, the common sense to do them right.
When life's twists and turns have you spinning out of control.
Traffic is tied up on the interstate as far as I
Great.
can see.
Every day, same old thing.
It's really a mess out there. Remember,
Yeah?
we'll do
You don't know what a
every
mess
day.
is. If I have to sit here much longer, I'm going to explode.
Take the plunge, because life
Just got better, thanks to my Oregon Hot Spring Spa.
Oregon Hot Spring Spas. Share the experience.
1, 2, 3.
Life shouldn't be complicated. That's why Chevy's making it as simple as 1, 2, 3. Get either 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 cash back on every new 2002 Chevy SUV, or choose 1.9, 2.9, or 3.9% financing. So make it easy on yourself. Get to your local Chevy dealer.
Sing along with Sound of Music.
Monday on AM Northwest. This is a Nightline Friday night special.
I mean, he was only 7 months old, and this doctor made it seem like he would never really do much of anything.
The two of us just started crying. We were just devastated.
The experts believed he would never accomplish anything. The doctors said he would never talk.
Transliteration. Let's hear it.
He was determined to prove them wrong.
Think about you not being able to talk.
He was just being honest, and he was speaking from his heart.
Tonight, Miles's bar mitzvah, one young man's journey.
From ABC News, this is Nightline. Substituting for Ted Koppel and reporting from Washington, Chris Bury.
In many ways, tonight's broadcast is a classic in the truest sense of the word. It deals with timeless themes found in stories from the Bible on. Coming of age, epic struggle, and the power of faith. This is the story of a bright boy trapped in a body he cannot control. A boy intent on becoming a man in the eyes of his religion. His name is Miles Forma. He has cerebral palsy, a chronic disorder impairing control of movement. It afflicts more than 500,000 Americans in vastly different ways. In the case of Miles, it means he can communicate and think well enough to learn scripture in the original Hebrew, yet he cannot walk or talk. And here's where faith comes in. Miles was determined to complete his bar mitzvah, the Jewish ritual in which a boy comes of age before his congregation. At times, his journey is difficult and painful to watch, so just imagine what it was like for him. Here's Nightline correspondent Dave Marish.
This is the story of a bar mitzvah, Miles Forma's bar mitzvah.
Good morning.
Don't ham it up or anything.
There's something about Miles's face and his eyes that have always been charming. The impishness, the liking the world to be funny, liking attention.
Oh, my God. I don't know this young man. Who is that young man?
He's a very typical 14-year-old who is trapped inside a very untypical body. And he's at times at war with himself over this issue.
And then you can also see Miles, the child that has cerebral palsy, with flailing arms and trying so hard to position himself to reach something or to try to form a sound.
Miles, introduce me to Miles Forma. What are the most important things I need to know you?
I have CP. I am 14. I
have Dad, Mom, and Sister Josefa.
And you have a family.
High five. Good man.
Fact 2 about Miles's life, that he was 14 and not 13 at his bar mitzvah, was the only concession made to fact 1, that Miles Forma has cerebral palsy. Fact 3, that Miles has a family, shapes this whole story.
This is not possible yet for him.
Like that.
He doesn't have the balance yet. That he needs help. He needs help.
As a baby, he cried constantly, and the pediatrician would say, let him cry, and I had a feeling something was wrong.
Miles's parents, video cameraman Anthony Forma and medical administrator Betty Weimersheimer.
And it wasn't until we went to California to visit Anthony's parents, whose stepfather's a pediatrician, and who took one look at Miles and knew something was wrong.
What was wrong? The diagnosis was cerebral palsy.
I remember after we spoke to the pediatrician, going out in the car with Miles and putting him in his infant seat, and I think the two of us just started crying as we were driving back. We were just devastated.
I mean, he was only 7 months old, and this doctor made it seem like he would never really do much of anything.
This was a prognosis the Formas would not accept.
Here we go. Yeah, that's it. That was fast. Did you see that?
Yes.
I found the best therapists I could find, the best speech therapists, early intervention programs, and thus began a round of constant doctors and therapists and people in and out of our house, but that's what we had to do to help him reach his potential.
Good reaching. Oh, Miles.
Experts came and went, and Tony and Betty stayed on a job of childcare that sometimes felt like a black hole just devouring everything.
I mean, it took a long time to feed him and do it properly and try to get him to use his muscles properly.
Well, I think it was hard because I was an only child for 7 years.
Also living on the edge of this black hole was Miles's older sister, Josefa.
You want a hug? The phrase I repeated when I was 7, when they brought him home, was that my mother was his feeding machine. My father was just there to carry him around the apartment to keep him from crying, and I was just a speck of dirt.
The family's focus on Miles's potential produced a major life change 3 years later. The Formas moved to Budapest, Hungary, to enroll Miles in the unique program of the Peto Institute.
It was just extraordinary what we saw there.
Their approach was very, I guess you could say, was holistic. Whereas in the United States, Miles had his speech therapist, he had his physical therapist, he had his occupational therapist. There, they combine it all in sort of a generalist who tries to coordinate all of those different disciplines.
They didn't have wheelchairs, they just used slatted chairs and stools and tables, and the children were expected to move their bodies themselves. The idea was to retrain the pathways of the brain so the child learns how to move in the correct manner or to build up their muscles. They spend hours working with these children, and there's such a love of what they're doing and dedication that we hadn't seen something like that before.
But after 4 years in Hungary, Miles could neither walk nor talk.
We had a child who, his way of communicating at that point in time when he came back to the United States was throwing temper tantrums.
Miles was almost 8 when the farmers returned to America and found at Queens College Catherine Constable and Arlene Kratt, teachers of communication.
You could see immediately that Miles was a smart boy that had a lot of ability. He understood everything people were saying to him. Matter of fact, he understood Hungarian and English. But his way of speaking was, this is yes, and that was no. Facial expressions, trying to point to things.
To get beyond pointing, Miles needed words, needed to read words and to write them, even if speaking them would always be beyond him.
He very much wanted to talk, he very much wanted to learn, and he was having a lot of difficulty, but clearly creative, clearly learning to ask more kinds of questions.
One of the very first questions that Miles asked when he was learning to ask questions on his own out of the blue, I remember him turning to me one day and saying, "Are you Jewish?"
This is ABC News Nightline, brought to you by Household.
We understand dreams do not come with price tags. And home improvements improve more than just homes. We're Household, and we understand the hopes and financial needs of 50 million everyday people. That's why for nearly 125 years, we've specialized in loans, credit, and understanding. Household, helping everyday people, every day.
I am so sick of guys just staring at my teeth. I'm more than just beautiful teeth.
Get great teeth with Braun Oral-B Battery Brush. Its unique 3-bristle system cleans and polishes for healthy, beautiful teeth. Nice teeth. Braun Oral-B, better bristles, beautiful teeth.
Ask your doctor about Vioxx, a prescription medicine from Merck, and find out if Vioxx is right for you. Vioxx.
Sunday, the National Security Advisor answers key questions about 9/11. Plus, are the Democrats playing politics? Hear from Senator Joe Lieberman this week, Sunday.
You need experience to get things done in Salem, but you've also got to have common sense. Take school spending. Oregon spends more of its education money on bureaucracy than any similar state. I've got a plan to reduce education bureaucracy so more money goes into the classrooms where it's needed. It'll mean $80 million more for teachers, books, and supplies without a tax increase. It's just common sense, don't you think?
Ted Kalingoski for governor. The experience to get things done, the common sense to do them right.
It's Wix Furniture's big 36-hour store-wide sale, featuring Wix fabulous new Lazy Boy collection.
What? I love a lazy boy. Don't you?
On Election Tuesday, tune in to K2, the Northwest election leader. Join Paul Inman, Steve Dunn, and the region's most respected political analyst, Tim Hibberts, for first projections, first results. A full hour of Team 2 coverage begins at 8.
K2 and You, the new spirit of the Northwest.
Miles, when did you first understand that you had different abilities and different problems from many other people?
I
was
11.
11.
When he reached about 10 or 11, when he was here, and his consciousness of himself changed, he began seeing his limitations. His limitations not only now, but his limitations lifelong.
He wants to be independent from his parents, and he can't.
And what happened to make you understand this? I-S-T-A-R.
To think.
You started to think. About who I am.
Happy birthday, Yosef. And happy birthday to Yosefa.
Yosefa's boyfriend, Brian, who Miles is very close to, Miles would get very depressed about having cerebral palsy, and he would talk to Brian about it. And at one point, Brian said to him, have you ever tried just praying to God? And I think that put the first germ in Miles' head. And then Joey's bar mitzvah came, and I think it sort of grew from that.
Joey Stolberg, who also has CP, is the friend who invited Miles to his bar mitzvah.
What did you think when you watched Joey be bar mitzvahed? It?
Made me
Feel like I wanted to do the same thing.
Soon, Miles was attending religious school at Temple Beth El in New Rochelle, a New York City suburb near where the Formas live.
He wanted to know why we celebrate Shabbat, why we're Kippah. He was so interested because he came to us with no knowledge.
And my problem was to try to slow him down because he wanted to know everything right away. Right away, he wanted to know everything.
He does.
What was the hardest part of preparing for the bar mitzvah? What was the most difficult part?
there
was
no
there was no hard part. Aha.
That's interesting.
Learning Hebrew is one thing, but taking possession of a bar mitzvah Torah text and then performing it and all the other bar mitzvah rituals involves many more things. The province of Professor John Bryson Eulenberg.
Very good. Miles has cerebral palsy. He is not able to control his organs of speech. Another Sheva, the vertical two dots. And even though with his biological voice he can't do the chanting, he can, with his body and with his determination, give voice, once again, in this year, to sounds that were heard 1,000 years, 2,000 years ago. This is the Hebrew text which Miles Forma has typed in.
Dr. Eulenberg's weapons, computers and keyboards, take Miles's bar mitzvah text and speech and turn them from ideas to words.
Part of my agreement with Miles when we started was that every Hebrew word that he put in would be put in by Miles. And also, every word would be one that he would learn. He would know the meaning of every word in the Torah portion and also in the blessings and prayers. This needs to be translated into a form that a computer can utter. So we call that transliteration. Shema Yisrael Adonai. Now that's just in a monotone. Sounds like a talking computer.
But for a bar mitzvah, this text has to come multiply alive, not only to be vocalized, spoken, but sung.
Here we have a program that analyzes the melody. Well, we can actually now hear that song. Let's hear it. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And the result is something we hear, and it sounds like somebody singing. And what is being sung is a traditional melody.
Now again here, the melody is traditional, but the cadence, the emphases, that's Miles.
Yeah, that was Miles' cadence. That's true. He put his own personal flair into that particular interpretation.
I'd ask the congregation to please rise. And
Just as any bar or bat mitzvah boy or girl would, it has the singer's own special way of singing it. And this, of course, comes from the mind through the hand of Miles Forma.
Hey.
Just went to Circuit City. Pretty big, huh?
Yeah, it's big, but
But what?
well, there's just A little extra space all the way around.
Well, we could always go bigger.
We can go bigger.
You can bring it back. We welcome returns and exchanges with no surprise charges like restocking fees. Circuit City, we're with you.
Honey, it's big enough.
I can still see the light.
Engineer Tom Sutter is a student of tranquility. For the GMC Envoy, he and his team use hydroform technology to absorb vibrations for a surprisingly comfortable ride. They also gave it 270 horsepower. They want you to feel relaxed, not fall asleep. Motor Trend's 2002 SUV of the Year, the GMC Envoy.
Realtors help you buy and sell real estate, but helping build communities is what they do best. Like Gil Gillenwater from Arizona. Gil organizes volunteers to help build children's shelters in Mexico.
Every child, no matter where they're born, deserves the basic needs of the human condition.
Across the country, realtors are making their communities a better place to live. That includes Charlie Oppler, who volunteers as a basketball coach. Realtors adhere to a code of ethics. It's these values that help them live up to an even higher standard.
Let me sum it up for you. Stereotypes, God, Bush's lie, mad cow disease, good, bad, boring, gay.
And that's just the first 5 minutes of PI. Coming up.
The Lexus ES 300. At Lexus of Portland.
Ron Saxton or Kevin Mannix will mean another Democrat governor. Saxton is so liberal he divides Republicans. Early release for violent criminals, partial birth abortion. Leading Republicans plan to run a candidate against him, guaranteeing another Democrat governor. And Mannix, he's already lost twice. He can't win. Only Jack Roberts has won statewide and has the experience to balance the budget without new taxes. Jack Roberts, experienced enough to win, conservative enough to make a difference.
For the bar mitzvah boy, there are two main parts to the performance. The reading of this week's holy text from the Torah, the first 5 books of the Old Testament, and the Devor Torah, a commentary on the text, a statement on life. When it was time for the Devor Torah speech, Miles had a request.
He asked Anthony and I to go sit down. He wanted to be up there by himself, and he was very composed. He wasn't nervous.
I think that it didn't really faze him to be up in front of all those people. And he didn't seem self-conscious about himself or his disability or what he was doing or how he sounded.
My bar mitzvah takes place during the holiday of Sukkot.
He had a beautifully written speech. I think the reason why it was so beautifully written and so poetic and philosophical and spiritual all at the same time was just because he was just being honest. And he was speaking from his heart and from who he really was.
Like the Israelites on the desert, I don't know what will happen to me in the future. Sometimes, when I am really depressed, when I feel helpless, I pray to God to tell me what my future will be like. God never answers me. He knows I know the truth. The truth is I have to deal with the cerebral palsy, and that will give me a better future. When I was 11, I started to think about God. Why did God give me cerebral palsy? I did not have an answer.
He actually made one little mistake, and in the past, if that had happened, he would have gotten frustrated and angry, and he just kept going, and no one knew he made it. I didn't know he made a mistake.
I knew.
Anthony knew.
That was the highlight of the bar mitzvah for me. There's a point where you can see where he brings his hand to his cheek. And he said one part out of turn. He realized that. As Betty said, instead of getting upset or hitting it or getting frustrated, he maintained his composure, and that was great.
Think about you not being able to talk. How would you feel?
My one favorite moment was when he asked a question and he paused and he sat, when he told people to think about something, just think about it.
Think about having to use a Dynavox and a board with words and letters to communicate. And think about that you are smart like me. I want you to just think about it for a minute.
And he just looked out with a smile at everyone as if to say, so are you really thinking about this?
I want you to try to understand because I am very, very frustrated all the time. I dream someday I will talk, I will get married and have a wife and have annoying kids like my mother and father. And I want people to respect me for who I am, not feel sorry for me because I have cerebral palsy. Finally, I would like to thank my whole family.
At one point, Miles's parents spoke from the altar directly to him.
When you were very young, 7 months old, we took you to see a doctor, a specialist, because you were having trouble holding yourself up and moving and reaching the milestones that children your age normally did. The specialist examined you, and she told us you had cerebral palsy. And then she told us something very difficult. Because of the cerebral palsy, you would never be able to do anything in your life, and that we would have to bring the world to you.
But Miles, that doctor got it all wrong. You have shown today only a small part of what you're capable of doing. And if you think about it, all your life, you have been bringing the world to us. Thank you for being who you are.
The story of Miles Forman's bar mitzvah. I'm Dave Marish for Nightline in New Rochelle, New York.
I'll be back in a moment with a word about a special Nightline series airing next week.
If you missed a Nightline broadcast or you want to watch when you want, log on to nightlineondemand.com. Sponsored by The Neighborhood.
My mom's growing a baby.
Do you know the score?
I met somebody.
How's the weather up there?
I think I just blew it.
Finally, a place where all words are equal. The Neighborhood, a new nationwide local phone company where you can speak freely to whoever you want, whether they're next door or across the country.
You lost your first tooth.
I gave him my number.
One monthly price for unlimited local and long distance from one place. A place that understands the importance of all words. The Neighborhood. All words are equal again.
The 75 Civic was first in Honda's long line of clean cars. Today, every car we build is a low-emission vehicle or better. And we're planning for tomorrow with our zero-emission fuel cell vehicle. Is it any wonder Honda was recently named the cleanest car company in the world?
Hey, Jack, this is just like squeezing taxpayers.
Like when you squeezed them for higher income taxes.
I remember your sales tax and gas tax.
Need tax dollars? Just squeeze.
Like the billions to pay for the state retirement system.
Just squeeze taxpayers.
And protect our pensions.
Had enough. Newspapers endorse Ron Saxton. Voters who are tired of politicians, Saxton's their man. Fiscal conservative, pro-business, pro-farmer. He'll reduce the size of government, kickstart the economy. Ron Saxton, a businessman ready to work for Oregon.
The truth. A real and honest discussion of the issues. That's what Oregonians want from their political leaders. But remember Gordon Smith's Politics 90s style? The press called it the ugliest in state history. Now the Republicans are at it again. This time distorting Bill Bradbury's record on taxes. The Oregon press says it tries to mislead you. It leaves viewers with a false impression.
Call Gordon Smith. Tell him not again, because Oregon deserves an honest debate of the issues.
She stood up to utility companies to lower rates for public schools, worked to create jobs, served as a legislator, and helped Governor Kitzhaber pass the Oregon Health Plan. She's Bev Stein, Democrat for governor. Now Bev Stein's common sense plan will lower prescription drug costs, improve in-home care for seniors, and protect our schools from budget cuts. Bev Stein, common sense solutions, uncommon leadership. Bev Stein for governor.
Next week on Nightline, Ted Koppel will host a special 5-day series examining gay life in America. At a moment when the Catholic Church is debating whether gays should even be allowed in the priesthood, this series will focus on many gay and lesbian people who normally elude the media's attention.
My life with him was much, much happier than it was when I was with my wife and children years ago.
I wasn't really happy. And I thought, well, I can make the choice. I'll just forget about this feeling I have, and it'll go away. I thought it would go away, but it didn't.
That's A Matter of Choice, all next week on Nightline. And that's our report for tonight. I'm Chris Bury in Washington. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Your adrenaline is pumping and your heart races at over 200 miles per hour. At that speed, you wouldn't even qualify. The Indianapolis 500 time trials, Sunday on ABC.
I killed a man.
You snapped.
Sunday, it's the practice 2-hour season finale.
You need to close big.
9/8 Central on ABC.
As an older car, even though I've got a couple of scratches, it's nice to have the scratches clean. But you know, every part of me has to be clean, and part of that is the inner workings of my my engine. But Chevron with Techron helps clean me and keep my emissions low, which is real important in my line of work, being a car.
No gasoline cleans your engine better than Chevron with Techron.
Bill Bradbury says he can't remember how he voted on the sales tax. Maybe the Coos Bay world can jog his memory. In fact, Bradbury voted 8 times for sales tax increases, 13 times for income tax increases, 12 times for gas tax increases. He even voted to tax Social Security contributions. The only thing Bill Bradbury hasn't taxed is memory.
K2 cares about the community.
Hi, I'm Jim Wallen, General Manager of Courtesy Ford. Our employees are proud to assist in the efforts of the Portland Rescue Mission, sending out a light of hope to lives in need, serving meals, providing shelter and hope to those less fortunate than us.
Courtesy Ford and K2 care about the community.
This is K2, the breaking news station.
Good evening. Welcome to Politically Incorrect. Let me tell you who's here tonight. Catherine Lanasa, one of my favorite guests. Three Sisters was your show. Is that off now?
Yes, that
Join
is,
the
Bill.
club. Eric...